Cystic fibrosis is an inherited genetic condition. There's one faulty gene which controls how water and salt passes through the cells, and because it doesn't work, it creates a thick, sticky mucus which clogs up, in particular, the lungs and the gut. In the lungs, that causes repeated chest infections, inflammation, coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and over time just a slow loss of lung function. In the gut, because you rely on digestive enzymes to absorb your food, again those pathways get blocked, so essentially that the child is malnourished because they can't absorb the food, so they have to take digestive enzymes with everything that they eat. There are diarrhea problems associated with that. 1 in 3 with CF can look forward to cystic fibrosis related diabetes. Osteoporosis is an issue to do with diet, arthritis and joint pain, nasal polyps, sinusitis. So there's a huge range of other symptoms that they deal with, and side effects from some of the drugs that they take over a period of time actually has an effect on their body. For example, one of the antibiotics makes your skin incredibly susceptible to being sunburnt. So you can very easily just get blisters and severe sunburn.
I have cystic fibrosis, and I can only get it if my parents have the cystic fibrosis gene and my mother has half the cystic fibrosis gene. It's horrible and I don't like it. Well, I don't like it because it gives me limited breathing, and I don't like it because of that. Well, I get short of breath when I don't really do my exercises I'm given, and I don't usually do them. I do breathing exercises which are tobramycin and pulmazine to help me clear my lungs, and then I also do lots of sport. I do trampolining, and I do lots of different activities at school for when I do PE, and I also do gymnastics. I can do mostly everything that I can do everything that everybody does, but I can get easily puffed out quickly than them. Well, if I start losing my breath, then I go a bit wheezy to start with, and then I usually stop to take a break. If I'm really, really wheezy, I have to take my inhaler.
What would you say is the hardest thing about having cystic fibrosis? What do you find
Probably going into hospital for 2 weeks at a time, because they don't usually let you out, and then you're just in there bored, sitting around.
Day to day, I would have to do a medical regime of antibiotics, medication, exercise as well as that. So it would involve numerous tablets in the morning, then maybe in the afternoon as well, and evening, depending on how well I feel. But sometimes when I get up, I can't do it straight away because I've got other things that are in the way, I would say. Like I have to look after my dogs as well, so they kind of go first, and then when I have the time I'll do my nebulizers, pet mask, and stuff like that, and then eventually get round to doing the exercise, which has probably take me all morning to do. And then when it comes to the evening, I'm like, oh, I feel like I've only just done it. So I practically do the same thing as well in the evening. The pet mask is a mask basically you put over your face, and it has pressures at the end of it, so I have to blow to a certain pressure for as many seconds as I can, 10 times, and then do about 5-6 sets of 10 for that. And then the nebulizers I make up the antibiotics, wait for them to set, and then push them into, like, I don't know how to explain I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I just hold something that evaporates the air into my lungs, and I breathe in that for a couple of minutes, because the machine that I have that I connect it to will tell me when it's run out, basically, and then I take it apart, clean it, and then to the next one.
Right.
But I have to take certain times in between them, because you can't do them like one after the other straight away, so that does take a bit of time to do.
When it comes to then sort of life around it, the treatments actually are take a lot of time throughout the day. She has to do 2 lots of nebulizing. She has to do breathing exercises, physiotherapy breathing exercises. She's taking tablets with meals. She's taking oral antibiotics twice a day as well. So there's vitamin tablets, vitamin supplements she's taking. So that there's all through the day there's things we have to do. We have to be aware when she's eating food, so she takes tablets to help her digest the food. And the phase we're in at the moment is very much Emily sort of moving to take responsibility for that.
When I was little, I would say I'd have no idea of what I was doing, because it was more my parents than me, because they got me into more of a routine when I was younger, because it was them in charge, not me. So from when I transferred into adult care, it was literally just all me. Like, it had to be me, no one else. It was just, I felt like it was a massive responsibility to take on by myself, because normally I'd look over to my parents and kind of look at them for the answers and they'll make me get on with it. So it was difficult. I wasn't going to say it's easy. It was a bit daunting, because in Southampton I'm always by myself. I'm isolated from everyone. The doctors have to come to me. I'm not allowed to be in the same room as anyone with cystic fibrosis. And when I was younger, I was in the ward over here, and I was allowed visitors. Family were close, so everyone could come visit me. And occasionally, it's just nice to have the comfort and support locally. But I don't seem to have that anymore.
So you go to the mainland.
Yeah.
What is it over there that you can't get in Guernsey?
Just family support, because it is quite lonely being there for 2 weeks straight, every 3-4 months at a time, depending on how well I am. Sometimes I've been going, every couple of weeks, if that.
Diagnosis inevitably happens within the first few weeks of birth, so it's a huge shock to the family when you get a CF diagnosis, and that's when it initially feels overwhelming. If you had, again, a group of families over here that you could talk to explain, actually, you can manage this. This is the outcome. Look at our children; they've done very well.
I would say keeping up with work, catching up with work. I was always catching up, missing out on school events, just anything really. Because I'd say I wasn't there a lot at all. Yeah, and exams I'd miss out on. And because I'd miss out on them, I wouldn't know how to complete the exams. I wouldn't know what to do. I would try and take part as much as I could, because I did do a lot of athletics at school, and try my hardest with that. I did enjoy it as well. So, but normally I would have to sit out as well.
Yeah.
I haven't really told many people at Blanchland, because I sort of got bullied in my primary school about it. Teachers do know about it, but they just let me get on with my life around school, and then if I need to take my inhaler or anything, they do let me go do it.
It's homework. However, when Emily gets home, she should be doing her nebulized meds and breathing exercises, which can take an hour. So there's an hour in her life in the evening and similarly in the morning, which other kids don't have to do. And so that really impacts on the time she can do things.
There's a lot of medical research going on. It's a genetic problem. So what we can do with gene technology is coming on in leaps and bounds all the time. There are drugs trials going on at the moment with actually correcting the genetic fault in the genes. That's reached a stage where if the results are positive, then they'll be going out to a drugs company to bring something onto the market. So that could happen easily in the next 10 years. So the big hope for us, and again, something we need to try and get over to our children and young adults, is that in those tough periods, those low points during the day, that there is hope to actually stop CF in its tracks. Whilst it won't cure Courtney's lung function, it will be stuck at 70% if they sort the drugs out. But at least then a lot of the symptoms will then disappear that she suffers. And for those coming along behind, again, it'd be a huge impact on their lives. There are a few simple things people can understand to start with. It's not catching, it's not contagious, it's a genetic problem. CF children, adults, they will have a persistent cough, and it can turn into a coughing fit very easily, and they can't help it. They're just trying to clear mucus out of their lungs. It's easy to people to say and joke when in an embarrassing situation like that and say, oh, you're a 40 a day person or something like that, and they're not. They can't help it. There's a range of challenging conditions invariably people with CF are dealing with, from joint pain to diabetes, as well as chest pains from just maybe have been coughing all night. That they've gone through a regime of treatments already that morning. They could be tired from lack of sleep. So just an understanding that maybe their mood varies a little bit. So just a little bit of patience and consideration on a first impression. Patience with them at the end of the day. There's no reason why someone with CF can't do most, if not all, of the things completely healthy people can do. CF, that there is no cure to CF as things stand at the moment. Again, 1 in 3 die waiting for lung transplants. So again, top tip for everyone: if you don't carry a donor card, please carry a donor card, because there are many people out there that rely on other people and organ transplants to save their lives, and cystic fibrosis is certainly one of those. There's no reason why they shouldn't be treated exactly the same as other children, the same as other children as young adults, and as young adults going into the workplace, which we've now got them healthy enough for it to present problems to workplaces to deal with. People have extra needs, but again, with some communication, those can be managed extremely well. So there's no reason why CF adults cannot contribute in a full and productive and exciting way.
I'd say be as positive as you can and keep as fit as you can as well.
So looking ahead,
Yeah.
what things can you look towards? Like, what are you looking forward to planning in the 3-5 years?
Probably get a house, well, move out with my boyfriend. We want to actually get another dog. We're a different breed this time. Yeah, and get a job, mainly. Earn some money. Yeah, get a job, earn some money, get more experience, and hopefully that will lead to doing something I actually enjoy, like mechanics, working on cars, just anything to do with cars really. Just I want people to be able to give me a chance, so I can prove myself, because at the minute I'm feeling a bit hopeless. So